And so if you think of your role as an entrepreneur, it's about developing people. And as a manager, it's about managing people. So it's always about people. My name is Marvin Lubega, co-founder of Go1, and we help organizations and their people unlock positive potential of their love for learning. We're a B2B SaaS software solution. At Go1, we have a team of 650 strong, and we operate across 30 markets with teams in 11. So one of my favorite artists once said, "The future started yesterday, you're already late." It was actually John Legend, but still a favorite artist of mine. Often when we discuss the future of work, we often think it's related to organizations that deal with people or HR. But what you have to realize as a business person, entrepreneur, is that every single organization is a people organization. You're either going to be selling to people, you're going to be hiring people, people will be investing in you, people buy from people. And so the importance of understanding how people operate in an organization, your own and others, is so crucial to your success. And that's why for me, the future of work is a cross-cutting topic of importance. And that is experiencing significant change. So what we saw during COVID, we're very close to the fire in terms of the future of work from a learning perspective. We saw was that many organizations were forced to change not only where people were working, so obviously you can think of working home versus working remote, but also the way they were working. So the way in which teams are configured changing, roles and responsibilities are changing over time. But that has meaningful implications for the future of work. And when you think about it, it's about then thinking through what are these skills that are required, because people don't necessarily just want a job, they want a career. So then you as an entrepreneur have to ask yourself, how am I equipping my team, not only for the role in my current company, but for future roles? Because no employee wants to stick around in a place where they aren't growing for their future career in any sort of instance. And so that pity then demands a different set of skills. There was a long time, a very long time ago, where it was about being very skilled at one particular thing. But what you're seeing now is that those who are ambidextrous or multi-skilled are succeeding because the environment is changing so much. So think about the kind of future skills that we see in demand across our different offices are things like creative thinking, problem solving, communication effectively, understanding data analytics, and even having EQ. Things that you won't necessarily find on an MBA or your typical undergraduate or business degree. Yes, they're coming to the fore now, but what that also means is then you as an employer have a higher burden or responsibility to make sure your staff have those skills. They may not come with them, but they should definitely develop them in your workplace. And so if you think of your role as an entrepreneur, it's about developing people. And as a manager, it's about managing people. So it's always about people. And I think what we often take for granted in organizations is we all want to hire the best people. That's a fact. But I think something to consider is, especially in the hiring process, is thinking about the way you approach the whole ecosystem or the process of hiring. So let's take a step back. So you're an organization, hyperscale, congratulations, you're growing. Now you want to grow your team. Now, if you think about having a job description of saying, look, I want a scale manager with this skill in that industry with these years of experience. So you put together a nice job description based on the business need. Now you put it out to the market, you get some good hits on LinkedIn, all the various jobs boards that you use, and you interview candidates. So ultimately you've got three candidates, the three strongest candidates, and you interview them. Now, what we forget in the interview process is we find the best of the candidates. What we don't ask ourselves after we find the best candidate is, does that best candidate have all the requisite skills for that initial job description? Ask yourself this question. When was the last time you hired someone and with their offer letter you said, okay, fine, here's your job description, and once they joined your company you said, okay, but the job description had these skills, our assessment of your skills is Y, and how do we ensure that you're able to grow into the gaps that you have in your actual skill competency? And I think as organizations thinking about the future of work is about saying, how are we intentional about the development of our people? Because ultimately, people are our business. And so to bring it together, one, as an entrepreneur, the future of work is important for you because we're all in the people business, and business is people. Two, the way in which people interact with businesses and work in businesses is changing. One, because people want careers and not jobs. Two, because where we work is changing due to COVID, and also the way we work is changing in terms of collaboration. But the final piece, I think, comes down to you as an entrepreneur, where you have a responsibility to invest in your staff so you can unlock their positive potential even as they join your organization.